Hey everybody. All right, so we just finished lesson 13.2, which was evaluating expressions. And today we are going to work on lesson 13-3, write numerical expressions. So what they're going to do is give you a word problem and you have to write an expression or a number sentence that represents that word problem. So let's go ahead and do the solve and share together. If you didn't go into Pearson yet and work on the solve and share on your own, go ahead and stop this lesson and do that first to give you a chance to try and solve it by yourself. And then get back on this lesson and see how we do it. All right, so let me share my screen. So here we go. So it says a baker packages 12 cupcakes to a box. Sean orders 5 boxes for his sister's graduation party and 3 5/10 boxes for the variety show party. Write an expression that shows the calculations you could use to find the number of cupcakes Sean orders. All right, so first things first, what is this problem asking us to solve? So go back and read that problem to yourself to figure out what is this problem exactly asking us to solve. So I'll give you a minute now. Okay, hopefully you said that it's asking us to write an expression to find the number of cupcakes Sean ordered. All right, so the next question I have for you is what information does it tell us, or what information do we know? So we know that there's 12 cupcakes in one box, right? And we can see that in our picture here. And Sean orders 5 boxes for his sister's graduation party and 3 5/10 or 3.5 boxes for the variety show party. So if you think 3.5 boxes, well, one box has 12, so a half a box has how many cupcakes in it? What's half of 12? That's right, 6. Okay, so just to put that information out there to think about it that way. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to write an expression. Okay. So what's the first step that we need to do in order to figure out how many cupcakes Sean needs to order? Well, the first step is to figure out how many boxes of cupcakes he's going to get. So let's see, he's going to get 5 boxes for his sister's graduation and 3.5 boxes or 3.5 boxes for the variety show party. So how do I figure out how many boxes he's going to get all together? So what operation will we do to figure that out? Addition. So I put my addition sign here. There we go. We have 5 plus 3.5. Okay, and remember the 5 represents the 5 boxes and the 3.5 represents the 3.5 boxes. All right, but we're not done yet because that doesn't tell us how many cupcakes he's going to have. So what do you think the next step is? What will we have to do, or what will Sean have to do to figure out how many cupcakes there are? Well, if you look back at our problem, don't forget we also underlined or circled 12 cupcakes. So there's 12 cupcakes per box. So if I quickly add this up in my head, 5 plus 3 is 8. Plus a half is 8.5. So he's going to have 8.5 boxes of cupcakes. So what do you think? How do we figure out how many cupcakes he's going to have? What operation are we going to use? There's 12 in a box. I can't hear you. What'd you say? Oh, that's right. You're right. We're going to multiply by 12. Okay. Because there's 12 cupcakes in a box. All right. Now, there's one part that can get a little confusing, so listen here close. So bring your head real close to the screen, open those ears up wide. Okay. If I were to solve this problem, I would do 12 times 5 first, right? Using the orders of operation. And that is not what we want to do to solve this problem. We want to multiply 8.5 boxes by 12. So that means I need to put in parentheses somewhere. So what would I put the parentheses around first? 12 times 5? Hopefully you said no, because that's wrong. I would put the parentheses around 5 plus 3.5. Why do you think we're putting the parentheses around 5 plus 3.5? That's right, duh. It's because you have to figure out how many boxes Sean is going to get first. And then once we figure that out, then we're going to multiply that by 12 to figure out how many cupcakes. Okay, I don't think, does this problem say use to find the number? It doesn't say to solve it, but we can since we're here. So I'm going to use a different color to solve. Let's go ahead and use my green. So because we put in my handy dandy parentheses, we're going to do that first. And 5 plus 3.5 is 8.5. And I write that as 8 and 5/10, or 8.5. Remember, I bring down everything I haven't used yet. And I multiply that by 12. Okay, so you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, how do I multiply 12 times a decimal times 8.5? Well, if you go back, remember, I think it was like topic 2 or something, one of our early topics, we know how to multiply a whole number by a decimal. So I'm going to show my work over here. 12 times, and where does that 8 go? What place value is that 8 in? It's in the ones place value. So I put my 8.5. And remember that word, I can annex a 0 here. Annex, remember, just means to add a 0 to hold the place value. And then I can go ahead and multiply each step. So 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry my 1. 5 times 1 is 5. Add my 1 is 6. Remember, we're not done. We need to move over to the next place value, our 8, which is in the ones. So I put my 0 and I keep multiplying. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 2 is 16. So I write my 6, carry my 1. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Uh-oh. Okay, now I have my 2 partial products, and I'm going to add them together. And you can see I'm running out of room over here. So I got 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 6 plus 6 is 12. Carry my 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. Okay, so I got 1, 0, 2, 0, 0. So I need to figure out where to put my place value. So remember, all we need to do is count how many numbers are after the decimal point. So I've got 1 and I've got 2. So then I move my decimal point over. 1, 2. Put my decimal point. So my answer is 102. Okay, oh my gosh, my screen looks like a rainbow with all these colors. All right, so remember, if you have any questions about this, because this could get a little bit difficult, just shout out. You can shout out to me, Mr. Kent, Mrs. Scott, any teacher. We're all available, just waiting for you guys to hit us up. All right, before I let you go, I just want to show you what these problems look like, and I will be going over some of these problems with you on the Zoom, and I'm sure Mr. Kent will too. Okay, so there's the solve and share that we just did. This is the learning bridge that I want you guys to watch on Pearson. Only a couple of you guys are watching it for my class. It'd be nice if all of you can, because watching a video, again, will kind of help you walk through the problem again. Okay, and here's the actual page. So look what type of problems you're going to have to work on. You could do, see number 3, it says add 8 and 7, and then multiply by 2. So, let's see, where's my annotate? There we go. So let's just work on this together a little bit. I want to make sure that you guys know how to do this. Okay, so the first step, it says add 8 and 7. So let's just do that. 8 plus 7. And since it says, and then we're going to put this in parentheses so that we add these first. And then it says, and then multiply by 2. So then just multiply it by 2. Remember, the parentheses tells us that we need to work inside this first. So yes, it's very, very important that you add the parentheses. Okay? And it doesn't say to solve, so we're not going to solve it. Okay, let's do number 4. It's a little bit different. It says find triple the difference between 44 and 75 hundredths and 22 and 8 tenths. Now, what does the word triple mean? Hopefully you're saying 3. That's right. So, we're going to find the triple. So I'm going to write my 3. Find triple the difference. What does that word difference mean? It's a key word for subtraction. So the difference between 44 and 75 hundredths, and we're finding the difference, minus 22 and 8 tenths. Okay, now remember, we're finding the triple of this difference. So since we're finding the triple, that means we're going to multiply. But I need to put my parentheses in somewhere, because then I would be doing 3 times 44 and 75 hundredths first. And that's not what this problem is saying. It says we need to find the triple of the difference of this answer. So that means we need to put parentheses around the subtraction first. So they subtract this first and then triple the difference of this number. Okay, so hopefully doing a couple of those problems with you will help you. If you want, guys, you can go onto Pearson and you can find this exact page like I did. You just go to the student edition and you can work on some of the problems to get a couple practices in before you do the formative, okay? And speaking of formative, after you watch this video and you want to do a couple practices and you watch the video on Pearson, the Learning Bridge, then go ahead and hop on formative and complete that one problem for the day. And then I will see you guys on Zoom again on Tuesday at 10 a.m. for my class. And then don't forget, Mr. Kent, you guys have a Zoom as well on Tuesday. Okay, again, if you have any questions, just hit us up. All right, see you later.